Week 2 pick'ems. YouTube Ozic going. The Goat House is back. We're back. Week 2 of the NFL season with our pick'ems. You see the leaderboard on the screen. Only been 1 week, and it was a weird week to start it off. I'm in the lead, though, with 9 wins. We got a big-time tie with Danny Old Yeller and the fans out there who's voting for every game every week on our Twitter, 7. And Pigskin Pete's down there at 6. Pigskin's got to be better at Pigskin Pick'em.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the Giants.
How does it stink down there?
I'm done.
I feel like you said that at some point last year,
I'm
too.
done with them.
How does it stink down there? Like shit, I hope.
Done. Every year, I feel like the Giants are like, all right, this is it. This is the year.
So Thursday night, well, we'll get to Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, we're done.
There's a Picks League going on. You see the Twitter link on your screen. Go to the Twitter, follow it. That is how you join it. I think there might be some cheating going on. I think we say that every year, but I noticed this year there's a lot of people joining multiple times and making multiple different entries. So
I'll do that. I'll make multiple entries.
Yeah, I think I do. I think I may get 14 if I do that. I don't know if that person has a lot of entries, but that's impressive either way, actually. 14 R. Manning, 66. Hell of a name. Hell of a week. I said I was going to give some kind of Goat House prize if somebody was the lone leader of a week. So I got to find that guy on Twitter. I told everyone to make their names their Twitter handles. So see if I can find them. If you dominate a week, I'm giving you some merch. Always giving these shout-outs. You see the people at the top of the leaderboard. Some 14. We got some 13s. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Make sure you follow that Twitter. It's on your screen, link down below. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. We got power rankings, these videos. We got the score predictions every Wednesday, and a lot more. We got a lot more going on. If you're a betting man or a betting woman, make sure you download the BetQL app. There's also a website. You can find the app on Google Play or on the App Store. They basically just tell you who to bet on. I mean, I've been looking at it since we partnered up with them. It's they're on fire over there. Last week, I think one of their locks was Chargers against the spread for the first half. I'm like, that's a little wild for me, but it ended up being a lock, So they're on it with all those things. Gives you a percentage, how many times these bets have won in the past, how many times they've had success. For an example, for a team like the Chargers, but any team, whatever they're telling you to bet on. They got the pros, who the pros are backing as well. They got the sharp data, all right?
Sharp.
Against the spread, money line, totals, first half, second half. They got anything you can think of. You can customize the dashboard. They got injury updates. It's insanity. Check it out. There's links all over your screen. There's also a bunch of info and links in the description. They also have a special offer for BetMGM if you're interested in that. Again, links down below. Use code GOAT for 25% off. Don't forget it. Check out those links down below. Do it. And again, here's our Twitter, and there is how you join the Picks League. It's not too late. And again, we're giving prizes by the week if you dominate. If you're that dominant, like that Manning guy from this past week. So Yeah. Go ahead and check it out. Thursday Night Football, Giants and Washington Football Team. Pete already said he's not taking the Giants ever again, so he's taking the Washington Football Team. Any take on that?
I gotta be the junior now that he's not here. Unfortunately, I gotta be the guy who just.
If you're a good point, if you're wondering where Junior is, I'll put a link down in the comments. There's a video from Junior, so a lot of you probably already saw it. If you follow the Twitter, you didn't miss it, but you're missing out if you're not following the Twitter. That's the point there. But, yeah, again, if you're wondering where he's at, link down below. Pete's taking the Washington.
I like the football team at home in a short week. I like Heineke just getting the full. I know it's a short week, but he gets the full practice week of reps as the starting quarterback. I think he'll be more comfortable. I think it'll be a close game, though, but I like the football team.
Yeller was a big Fitzmagic guy. Now Fitzmagic's not playing.
He's a big Heineke guy.
I guess he's still going with Washington, so I guess he's a big Heineke guy too. So, yeah.
Giants didn't impress me last week for obvious reasons. They also didn't run the ball to Saquon, which hurt my fantasy team, so they're going to get punished by me choosing the Washington Football Team.
You're punishing them.
Yeah.
They might run it more, though, this week.
They definitely will. But Washington's a hell of a defense.
Fun fact. The Giants have won 5 in a row against Washington Football.
Wow.
Danny Dimes has never lost to Washington Football.
Wow.
But he's going to lose this time. I'm going to take him. He's definitely due. I'm going to take Washington even without Fitzpatrick. I mean, the Giants very realistically could win the game. They've given some problems to Washington Football Team. It's just so weird saying that every time, but it's the New York Football Giants versus the Washington Football Team, so it's all good. I expected Just say I expected a little more from Washington's defense last week, but they kind of held the Chargers in check. They only scored 20 points. But maybe a little more pressure I expected. I think they're going to get it this week. I think they're going to get after it. Thursday Night Football in Washington. The defense wins the game. The difference in pass rushes, but I think both will be successful in this one. But Daniel Jones is going to have to pick it up in this one. The fans, you guys can vote on our Twitter. Another great reason to follow the Twitter, link down below. But the fans voted for Washington, so that's going to be a guarantee, folks. Well, I think it can be a guarantee without. It's just a mess in there. I think it could be a guarantee without the fan vote. I think it just needs to have us for it, but you get the idea. You get the idea there. What's the next game here? What do we got?
Bears, I think.
We got the Bears. Oh, get the fan vote out of there. But yeah, Bears, Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals at Bears. Bengals coming off a good win against division rival of the Bears, the Vikings, in overtime. And the Bears fell to the Rams on Sunday Night Football. So Bears looking for their first win. Could the Bengals start 2-0? I just realized I took Pete's name off there. Pigskin Pete. There he is. He's Pigskin.
Oh, there we go.
He just did his emoji.
Put
me on the Bears.
Put
me on the Bears. Put me on the Bears. Week 1, it was weird. You saw the Packers lose. You saw the Bears lose. The Bears suck, but I don't think they're going to suck 2 times in a row. We saw the blown coverage. You had 2 long touchdowns against the Bears defense. I don't think the Bears defense is anything special, but I don't think you really expect that from veteran safeties to blow that coverage. I don't think you're going to see that again this week.
The Bengals got a collection of receivers there, though, to threaten them a little bit.
I think the Bears defense at home is going to bounce back a little bit better. I don't think they're going to be good. I think they're just going to get the job done, and then I think Andy's going to win rival game, his old team.
Yeah. It's a tough one because, I do think the collection of receivers the Bengals have actually could be a problem for the Bears defense. A little worried about the Bears. It was the Rams, but, the Bears defense worries me a little bit. This is such a tough game.
You take away 2 of those blown coverages,
it's a whole different ball game.
Exactly,
it's a whole
right.
different ball.
Exactly right.
Here's my worry for the Bears. It's you. You're my worry for the Bears. No, the fans. Are you guys going to be chanting for Fields the whole time and booing? Dalton.
It's going to be bad.
That's not good.
I'm going to feel bad for Andy Dalton.
That's not good against his old team.
Well, all he has to do is score a touchdown, and he's going to shut us all up. So if he does that, which I think he can, I think the fans will STFU.
I already made up my mind beforehand, and I picked the Bears, but it starts to worry me with the fans getting a little out of control. As soon as Andy Dalton,
as soon as Andy Dalton takes the field, there's going to be a chance. Guarantee you. I'll even film it. I'll even film it. I know it's going to happen. And then if he drives down and we score, whether he throws it or if he hands it off, they're going to be quiet. If he throws an interception, it's tough. It's a
tough pick. I don't like that, but the Bears are, at the end of the day, you think home field advantage has got to help them in some way here. And again, I worry about the collection of receivers from the Bengals. That could be a reason the Bengals win. I look at the Bengals-Vikings game. The Vikings were kind of in a hole a lot, an insane amount of penalty yardage, so they were always 3rd and 20. I don't think the Bears will be in that situation. I think Andy Dalton's going to dink and dunk it all over the field.
I also think you're going to see a complete drive by Justin Fields. I don't have any sources for that, but I think he's going to come in there.
No sources?
Yeah, I'm just gut feeling. I think they're actually going to let him take maybe 1 or 2 series.
This is such a tough one. I'm sticking with the Bears. I do think the Bears had no pass rush against the Rams. I think they get the pass rush going this game. They have to. They absolutely have to. I don't think we can base too much off the Bengals in Week 1. I'm impressed with some things. I talked about it all week, and I'm excited for the future. Definitely a team of the future. And this is a winnable game for sure. But I'm gonna go with the Bears. That's my feeling right now. That's definitely. I think there's several squeakers. That's just one of the squeakers of the week there. What's Pete going with?
I was going to go with the Bears, too.
Wow.
Are you sticking with that?
I don't know. I thought you guys – I thought Danny was going to go Bears, but I thought you were going to go Bengals.
I'm on the fence. I'm sticking with the Bears. I don't like switching my picks.
I thought I could steal one, but I do like Sloppy Soldier. I don't know
Kanye
about –
blessed it with Donda.
Yeah, I don't know about
Are you sticking with the Bears?
I'm sticking with the Bears, yeah. I like the Bears.
Well, you know who old Yeller's going with. He never picks the Bears. He's going with the Bengals. They beat his Vikings last week, so – I don't know if that's why. I don't think that's why at all. But and the fans actually it was surprising to me that it was by not a landslide, but by a good amount going with the Bengals. That's what the fans.
They're overhyped.
Maybe buying in They're pretty sneaky. In Chicago though, it should be a pretty good game. Mixon that was impressive last week too. We got a good old-fashioned split here. You love to see that. Let's see if I can do this right. I'm definitely rusty still with the graphics.
It's all right. It's week 2.
If they don't have the graphics guy, probably shouldn't have fired him. Texans and Browns.
All right.
But the Texans dominated last week, and the Browns choked. Is everybody going with the Browns?
Yeah, the Browns looked pretty damn good even though they
look good. Guarantee.
It's a guarantee, and where are the fans going? They're going with the Browns. I think I'm going with the Browns because of the running game, plain and simple, and they're just better. But the Texans against the Jags, it's a totally different game plan. They didn't get to see any running game pretty much from the Jags, so I think the Browns will come out there, pound the football, have some success doing it. I think they could pass if they wanted to as well. But the Texans were impressive. Tyrod Taylor was impressive. The Jaguars, they pressured him. He just got away and was making big-time plays, so credit to him. I don't think he's going to escape that much this time, though. We'll see, though. He's pretty sneaky. But, yeah, feeling the Browns mainly because they're better. That running game should be dominant. It's just totally – not only it's, when I say totally different matchup, it's not like I'm saying the Jags and the Browns talent-wise are different, which they very much are, but it's just totally different game plan, totally different matchup, two totally different type of teams. It's tough to do going from week 1 to week 2 in the NFL, so tough game for the Texans over there. But, hey, maybe they're better than we all thought. That's definitely possible. And then next we got what do we got here? We got the Rams and the Colts. I actually think this is a pretty good game here. I think this could be a very tight – this could be another squeaker. This could be another squeaker of a game. Man.
Give me the Rams.
Pete's a Rams guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know. We were talking about the Colts game. It seemed like they they played, I thought, pretty solid, but they just were never in the game. It was just kind of a weird situation with that Seahawks game. It just seemed like
this is a sneaky game.
Seemed like they played solid all around, but they just never had a shot. It was just weird. I liked what I saw from the Rams too. I like what I saw. I mean, the one thing I was looking at with them, you knew Stafford was going to boost their offense, but the one thing you're worried about was their defense, losing their coordinator. You'd think, they have talent, but you'd think maybe there'd be some type of drop off, but they played really well. On Sunday night, so
talking shit about the Bears.
No,
all the others going with the Rams.
Played well.
I think this is an interesting game. I think the Colts really couldn't get Jonathan Taylor going last week. I think they get him going this week. I keep saying it. You look at the Bears. We're going to bring up the Bears. They put up 14 points on the board, so you think they didn't have much offense. But I watched every single snap. I know a lot of you out there did as well. I thought they moved the ball fairly easy. Actually, it was week 1, so. It was a lot of, small ball, dink and dunk, but I think that's what the Colts are going to do here. I think they're going to, with Carson Wentz, I think Taylor will be effective, and I think they'll be effective in the small ball game, and they could have saw something there in last week's game, and now you can't base everything off week 1. My problem is the Colts really struggled. The Seahawks kind of threw a lot of play action out of nowhere, got Russell Wilson outside, and the Seahawks that has dominated them on the deep ball. The Rams do all of the above, the exact same thing. So it's very tough to pick against the Rams in that, where the Colts struggled with last week. Another thing, the Colts got to be game planning for that deep ball, right? They got beat by it last week. The Rams beat their opponent in week 1 with it. So now the field's really stretched out. The Rams pretty much can do anything they want. They can go underneath to Woods, whoever it may be. So I'm leaning towards Rams, but something's telling me this is a sneaky one. The Colts could surprise some people with this one. We'll see if Eric Fisher's back, and if he's back, and we'll see Xavier Rhodes. They could definitely use those two guys back. If both those guys are back, this is to me this is a squeaker. This is a game that can go either way.
I was going to lock this as my squeaker.
Yeah, I'm locking in
Eric Fisher's not on the IR.
He's questionable for this week. They actually thought he was going to play last week at one point, so we'll see.
I think this is going to be a pretty close game.
I've already locked in 3 as my squeaker. I don't know if that's accurate, but
I think that's against the rules. You have to go with the rules commissioner.
You're going to get this guy on
I think you hit it on the head. I have nothing to say. You said it all.
So you got Rams?
I got Rams.
Fans got the the new look LA Rams with Matthew Stafford. I think this should be a pretty good game, though. Maybe closer than what people think, perhaps. Maybe other people think it's close, too. We will see. Big game for Carson Wentz and company. Big game for the Colts safety. Surprisingly struggled last week. I was kind of, that young safety group, see if they could step up. Bills and Dolphins. The Bills' disappointment against the Steelers last week. And the Dolphins, an impressive win in New England. Pull it off in the end. A very good defensive performance. In Miami, in the scorching heat. Buffalo Bills, can they handle it? I'm gonna take the Bills. I think that's the tough part playing in Miami. I think the Bills' offense kind of gets out of their funk that they're in last week. And they kind of they're not going to score a ton of points, but I think they kind of get going. Steelers just gave them a surprise. They just kind of threw some random stuff at them that they normally don't run, and it really threw off the Bills' game plan, threw off Josh Allen. It just really threw them off. That's kind of the storyline of that game. The Dolphins got a very good defense, but you know what they're going to, you know what that Flores defense is. They know, what they're going to throw at you. So I don't think there'll be any giant surprises. It's still a very good defense, but it'll be a little easier game plan for the Bills. Less surprises, and they get enough going offensively. The Dolphins need more on offense, and I think they will with time. The Bills played a pretty good defensive ball game last week, though, so it is a tough task for Miami, even though they're home. I'm gonna take the Bills, though, bouncing back.
I'm going to take the Bills as well. I think it's going to be a relatively low-scoring game. But their offense has got to snap out of it. Miami's defense is pretty solid, but I think it's going to be the week. That's all I got.
Yeah, I like the Bills, too, bouncing back. Thinking about last year, Week 17, Dolphins need to beat the Bills to get in the playoffs, and the Bills just absolutely whomped them. I think they –
Matt Barkley was in there.
Yeah, I think they bounce back here and get a W.
Yeller Bills and fans Bills. Surprised no one. I figured somebody would do it. Take the Dolphins there. So nobody took the Dolphins last week and they won. So maybe a little shit talk from the fans again here coming up in the comments.
Really shit talk now?
I don't know if they were. I'm just back-to-back weeks.
I want to see more on the offensive side. I think they definitely surprised me.
I think am I weird saying this? I think playing the Bills after they just lost in week 1 is just tougher.
Yeah.
It just feels like that. I don't know. And the Dolphins pull out a squeaker. It's a damn good squeaker, a big one. They beat the Patriots. There's the Patriots. Jets. Jets got a lot of injuries. Didn't get much going on offense. Allowed some pressure. Is anybody going with the Jets?
No, I'm going to take the Patriots.
No. Corey Davis had 2 touchdowns, though.
Yeah, started him.
I started in one league as well. Like him. I think and what are the fans going with? They're going with the Patriots. I don't think I had to look there.
How about Mac Jones? Looking pretty damn good.
Looked pretty good. Couldn't pull off the win, though. I guess it's really not on him. Everybody.
It was weird. I thought Patriots looked really good last week, and
they just didn't win.
Some reason just couldn't pull it off. It was very strange.
Harris fumble was pretty costly.
Yeah, red zone.
Yeah, the Jets. I expected more scoring last week. Didn't help that Becton went down. They did get going later in that game, but the Patriots will be a tougher task here. And it helps that the Patriots will have a similar game plan, defensive game plan, as they had last week. They don't really have to worry about the run too much. I know the Patriots lost, but to me, their defense played well enough to win. I think it'd be a similar, not too much of an adjustment that'll help. And Belichick knows how to throw rookie quarterbacks, just inexperienced quarterbacks off in general. So I think Mac Jones is a good game. I think Damian Harris bounces back. I like the Patriots. I'm pretty confident with them. They are away in this one, but they lost at home last week. So what does that matter really at this point? Next game, we got it's a good one. This might be the game of the week. 49ers at the Eagles. 49ers put up a lot of points against the Lions. They almost blew a comeback. What I don't like is 49ers are already, injured. A lot of guys, and we got even more guys questionable like Ayuk and D4. Those guys are already questionable. Not ideal. It's kind of your typical guys already hurt as well. Mostert, Verrett, you just hate to see it. Eagles, just dominant in week 1 against the Falcons there. Now they're home. It's a tough game plan because you don't know what that new staff's all about. You don't know what Jalen Hurts all about. You think he's going to run, but he can throw. He's very underrated as a thrower. So the Eagles are just in general a tough game plan this early in the season. This should be a real good game.
I'm going to do it. I'm taking the Eagles.
He's taking Eagles. Dang it.
I actually originally had the Niners, but I was looking over the stats, and Jalen Hurts played pretty damn good.
He was good.
I've been getting him some shit in the past too.
He's changed. Like he's changed completely. Like you don't see that ever.
I didn't think he was that great of a passing quarterback. I thought he was going to be more relying on the run, but he really did the opposite. I mean, he had some runs, but I think it was a good balance with Miles Sanders as well. So I'm taking. I'm most likely wrong. So don't take my opinion for it.
No, I can't catch.
But
can't catch up. I'm taking the Eagles as well. I want to take the Eagles. At home, like you said already, the Niners are really beat up, and I just don't like how they ended that game. Really, like letting the Lions back in. I think it's gonna be a really good game though. This is probably my squeaker of the week right here.
Yeah, this is probably my squeaker of the week. It's a really good game. I rarely get hyped on teams or players off week one. I'm going to say I never do, and I'm pretty hyped about the Eagles. I'm pretty hyped about Jalen Hurts. I mean, I've never been a big Miles Sanders guy either, and I'm hyped about Miles Sanders. So Eagles fans, don't be too upset with me. I'm still taking the 49ers, though. I think it's just different than playing the Falcons. The Falcons. They were just really sloppy on both sides of the ball. And for a bit there, even though it felt like the Eagles were beating them up pretty good, the score was staying kind of close. And then the Eagles just pulled away, so they end up doing the job. But they can't kind of let that happen against a team like the 49ers. I want to see the 49ers use Trey Lance a little more in this game because that would really throw off the Eagles. They just really wouldn't know how to game plan. They can game plan for Garoppolo. I think we'll see that. I do worry about the guys injured. Let's see if Ayuk plays, D Ford, but we know who's not going to play. I wasn't a fan of the 49ers defense last week, but I think they'll step up. They know they'll provide some pressure on Jalen Hurts. You just kind of worry about the secondary a little bit, but again, this should be a really good game. I think the 49ers kind of just do enough. Again, it's a much different game plan, much different team than the Falcons. So I'll go that route. Old Yeller is going with the 49ers, and the fans are also going with the 49ers. So a good old-fashioned split.
Let's get one, Pete.
I did pick the Eagles by myself last week, and that worked out. So I hope I don't regret not picking them again. We will see. Again, that's going to be a phenomenal game, I think. Just the damn Niners need to stay healthy. Oh, the Raiders after that ridiculous Monday night game, insane game, and the Steelers after their big time win against the Bills. Mike Tomlin. I'm going Mike Tomlin. That's the guy right there.
Big Mike Tomlin guy.
Huge Mike Tomlin guy. I'm thinking he can sign me and I can play for him and look pretty decent. Definitely not, but you get the point. Yeah, this just genius, just absolutely genius. The game planning from the Steelers. Steelers run more man coverage than anyone last year, or just as much. I should say they blitz more than anyone last year. So the Bills, let's game plan for the Steelers. They're going to run man. They're going to blitz. Mike Tomlin, they do the opposite. And then why it's even more genius is the Raiders had a game plan for the Ravens, and their game plan was great for the Ravens defense. The Ravens run man coverage. They blitz a lot. The Raiders were ready for the blitz. Derek Carr actually dominated down the stretch the blitz, so they figured they can have a back-to-back week game plan. Steelers blitz a lot, right? They run man coverage. Wait, they just played the Bills and ran an insane amount of zone and didn't blitz. What the hell do we got a game plan for? What are we going to do? I think Mike Tomlin is in the Raiders' heads right now. I think that's what he just got a master plan cooked up here. So I'm going to go Steelers. They got to pick it up on offense a little bit. Raiders shut down the Ravens' run for the most part. So maybe they shut down Najee Harris. Maybe get shut down 2 weeks in a row. So I'm kind of looking forward to see if the Steelers can kind of get going on offense in general. I just think their defense is going to win another game. I think their offense get going enough. I'm Mike Tomlin. I'm going Mike Tomlin.
I wanted to take the Raiders. I'm going to take the Steelers, but Derek Carr towards the end of that game, I mean, he was whipping it around.
Yeah, he was looking good.
2 or 3 plays, 2 spikes for the field goal at the end.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had a quarterback like that. But yeah, I got to go with my Steelers.
You didn't want to go with the Raiders again?
No, the football gods are going to make them pay.
They're pretty
clearly they were not supposed to win last
beat up.
The Raiders are always so good on prime time. Like at home, it's crazy how they do that.
That's a sick field.
Yeah, I like the Steelers in this game though. I think it's gonna be a really good game, but I think it's just tough going to Pittsburgh now. Both these teams usually start off the season really hot. Like the Raiders usually start off hot, then they start blowing it and they miss the playoffs. True. The Steelers last year were on fire to start the year.
Best team in football. Yeah. And it didn't look like a playoff team at all. Not even close.
I think it's going to be a really good game, though. I'm excited for it.
Yeller Steelers and the fans with the Steelers. So that is a guarantee, folks. And, the Raiders fans probably not going to be happy with that. But we'll see what they're made of. Could be a good game. Hoping for the Raiders' sake, the offense continues to where it left off, and I hope the Steelers' offense can kind of get Najee going and just get going in general. I guess where they left off, they kind of got going late in that game. So we will see. Saints and Panthers. Saints, just a dominant win over the Green Bay Packers, 38-3, but now a little bit of a mess. Some coaches got COVID apparently, and then you got Marshawn Lattimore, who they just paid big money to. He's going to be out for a little bit, nothing major, but he's going to miss this game. And then Marcus Davenport, who had a pretty good game against the Packers, actually got pressure against Aaron Rodgers, is going to miss the game as well. And their center, Eric McCoy, is going to miss some time.
Jesus.
So it's a little bit of a disaster after an epic win. I'm not really worried about Eric McCoy. Saints are very good handling their offensive linemen. They got the versatile guys, Cesar Ruiz, to step in, step up. I think maybe the other guys, they get Bradley Roby back, or they get him now because he was suspended for 1 week. Remember, they traded for him. But I still think they'll miss Latimer. They just paid him all that money for a reason. So if you're not missing him, then I think that's a bigger problem. Which sounds kind of funny because, if you win without him, obviously that's a win. But my point is I think they'll miss him a little bit. And then Davenport, we'll see if Peyton Turner and company can step up. We know Cam Jordan will be playing well, but I think they'll miss Davenport a little bit as well. Panthers beat the Jets last week. Division rival game here. Should be a good one. Who wants to start us off? Old Yeller for a change? He went with the Saints.
I'm going to go with the Saints as well. I think that's a little scary. The Panthers got a lot of weapons, not having Lattimore, but I think they give Darnold some fits. If they give Aaron Rodgers some fits and scores 3 points, I'm pretty confident the Saints could do the same thing.
You could argue that the Packers receivers just couldn't get open, but the Panthers have the receivers, though.
Yeah, they do.
They have the receivers.
The Saints.
But do they have the quarterback?
That's the question.
I feel like the Saints, I know Jameis had 5 touchdowns, but he didn't really throw that many yards. There's no one that really stood out on the offense really for the Saints, honestly. I think Kamara has a big game. Marcus Callaway didn't even get involved really. I think he steps up and has a good game. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Jameis hopefully have to air it out a little bit more.
Yeah, the thing is that Packers did nothing right last week. They couldn't run the ball, they couldn't pass the ball, so we really know what's going to go with this Saints defense. Obviously they're going to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. You could try and stop them. Still going to go with the Saints. Sorry, I was trying to fool you on that one. But I don't know. I still want to see more from the Saints. I want to see Jameis in a full game without shorter fields. I just want to see more from the defense. I want to see them stop the run. They did it last week, but again, week 1's weird. I don't know. Packers did nothing right last week, but I still want to see more from their defense.
Yeah, I think the Saints will miss some guys in this game. Like I was saying, I think missing Lattimore against this collection of a very good receiver unit here, I think that could be tough. It's a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold. Can he do it? He had a pretty solid game. He did miss a couple touchdown throws, but I still don't fully trust him. I think the Saints will get pressure on this weaker offensive line still, even without Davenport. I think the Saints get the job done. Panthers got a sneaky defense, though. Brian Burns will get in there. Reddick will get in there. They got some playmakers in the back end. They got J.C. Horn now. They have Jeremy Chin already. Shaq Thompson. So they, if Jameis is going to start turning the ball over, it could be with the Panthers defense right here in week 2. Will Darnold do enough? That is the question. He has the weapons. So this game definitely got it's probably going to be a squeaker. I have 8 squeakers already. I don't know if we've even done 8 games, but I have 8 squeakers. It could be maybe not a 3-pointer less. Pretty close to a squeaker. Fans going with the Saints as well, so that is a guarantee. But that definitely got interesting with the Saints situation. That isn't ideal, I guess. But Broncos, Jags. Broncos look pretty good. They did play the Giants. The Jaguars look pretty terrible, and that was against the Texans. Yeah. Was it just a week 1 thing? What?
So take it how you want it there. I don't know. I don't really know.
That was accurate, though.
Yeah,
it was accurate.
I don't know who I want.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. I don't know. I called it. I mean, it's only week 1. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to overreact.
Hey.
I picked the Jaguars last week, though, so I don't have any excuse, really, for what I was about to say. I'll save it. I'll save it for later in the year.
I'll give you an excuse. I'm taking the Jaguars.
Oh!
I have no reason.
The Jags got to run the ball more. Like, they feel like they barely even ran the ball.
Well, I mean, you could argue the Jags. I mean, it's just like more of a college-style offense with Trevor Lawrence. You know, it's not really Vic Fangio's every week game plan and getting ready for this type of offense. So it could surprise a good defense in the Broncos, and maybe they do nothing that they did in week 1. You know, maybe they just like, all right, we got to change it. It didn't work. We're going to do this. Throw some random shit at them. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with reasons why the Jags can win. But as you could tell, I'm still leaning towards the Broncos, just better on.
I mean,
they shouldn't be better on both sides of the ball, but they are better on both sides of the ball.
We saw
definitely better defense.
In the preseason, everyone was making fun of the Jags and their play calling, and like we just thought, yeah, it's preseason, they're keeping it vanilla. But I mean, again, like I don't understand. Like, I mean, James Robinson's on a bad back. He had 1,000 yards as a rookie. I don't know why they're not giving him the ball. Why they're just putting it all on Trevor.
Yeller, Broncos, fans, Broncos, Dan by himself, lone wolf with the Jaguars.
It's early, you know. It's early. A lot of time to make up.
A lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Vikings and the Cardinals. Vikings lost to the Bengals in OT last week. The Cardinals shellacked the Titans. I don't know if that's a word. It's definitely not. It's kind of one of those like week 1 things where it's like the Vikings lost to the Bengals. They sucked. The Cardinals just dominated a good Titans team. They're the best team in football. And then all of a sudden the Vikings beat the Cardinals. I can see it. I definitely can see it because of that. But I'm not going to pick it. I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I mean, Chandler Jones got 5 sacks on the Titans offensive line. I think he's going to play pretty well, him and J.J. Watt against the Vikings offensive line there. Kyler Murray's probably going to be a problem. Cardinals are just a problem in general early season, tough game plan. Vikings need to get Dalvin Cook going more. They need to protect Cousins more. Their defense can surprisingly make some better plays than expected in this game here and there. I think Kyler Murray will still do enough. Mainly the pressure, like I said. So I'm going to go Cardinals at home here. Yeah.
Give me the Cardinals. I think it's a matchup nightmare on both sides of the ball for the Vikings. I think especially Cardinals' defense against that offensive line. It's Kirk Cousins. Tannehill can move a little bit better than Cousins. So that's yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals too. They looked really good. Yeah, I mean, I think it really helps that I don't know, AJ. I was hearing all the AJ Green hype this offseason. He didn't really make an impact, but Rondale Moore was impressive. Christian Kirk was very impressive. Yeah, Kyler Murray looked really good.
Old Yeller originally picked the Cardinals. He actually switched it to the Vikings. He's feeling it. Yeah, just maybe week 1 was random, perhaps. I think that's what Vikings fans may be holding on to. Hopefully that's what it was there. And the Cardinals fans are probably like, hopefully that's us every single week, what happened to week 1, because that was absolutely ridiculous. And the fans are going with the Cardinals, so 4 of us for the Cardinals. We got 1 Old Yeller, lone wolf, lone dog on the Vikings. Yeah. I mean, before the season, we thought this was this is probably a game we were looking forward to. Maybe one game shouldn't change our minds too much, but yeah, I think like Danny said, the matchup doesn't seem too favorable.
Let's not let week 1, you know.
Yeah,
Let's not confuse us here.
Yeah. What if the Falcons just did it? I mean, the Falcons gave Bucks some problems last year. I think it was like first half of games, and then the Buccaneers would pull away.
Falcons do what Falcons do best.
Did
you see how red Bruce Arians' face was getting last week?
Oh yeah,
he was like the Kool-Aid man. We went to, yeah. I don't know what was more red.
And he looks like a robot too with his whatever the hell he's got on.
Yeah. I don't know what is going on.
That's just what he does, man.
All right.
Hey, that's a coach I want to play for. Okay.
Bucks got too much offense. The Falcons' defense is a work in progress, and apparently their offense is a work in progress as well. It shouldn't be. Buccaneers are a little beat up. This is just bad, though, because the Buccaneers, I mean, how good do they stop the run? It's ridiculous. So we still don't know if Arthur Smith with the Falcons, are they a run-first team? Are they a pass-first team? We don't know. What we do know is the Buccaneers are going to stop the run, so you're going to have to pass. Maybe Ridley and Pitts have a pretty good day. Buccaneers got too much, though.
Over under 35 yards for Mike Evans.
Mike Evans or Mike Davis?
Mike Evans.
Because
what did he end up last week?
He's going over.
What happened? What happened with him?
Trevon Diggs.
I didn't see what he ended with. Down. I was going to say I didn't see what he ended with.
Not that much. Yeah, he's going to go over. Yeah, Trevon Diggs shadowed him the whole game.
Well, that's the problem. You have to deal with all the other receivers. You have to deal with Gronk, Antonio Brown.
He's going over this week. He's in a lead. No, I don't know if he's in a lead in yards. Touchdowns. We'll go with that.
Okay. Bet the over.
Bet the over. Is that the over-under?
No, I just made it up.
Make it up over-unders. That's how we do it here. All right, Bucks. Bucks it is.
Bucks.
What do we got? Shootout. Shootout of the century, hopefully. Cowboys lost in a shootout in first game of the year against the Buccaneers. Offense looked pretty damn great, and that was without a run game as well. And the Chargers pulled one off against the Washington football team. Chargers, they could have had a lot more points. They kind of, dropping the ball a lot, had a kind of a fumble for a touchback or whatever the hell that was that I don't know if I really agree with. But, so basically my point is the Chargers had some great moments, but also some sloppy moments. But again, this should be all offense. Should be a pretty good shootout. Both probably missing their right tackles. We know Leo Collins is suspended for the Cowboys. Brian Bulaga already hurt. He's questionable. He's the right tackle of the Chargers. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Give me the Cowboys.
Okay, Dan's taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, they looked good. They looked really good.
Looked good in the loss.
They looked really good.
Yeller is going with the boys as well, right? He's going with the boys.
Yeah.
You guys liking how they looked even after the loss? I did too.
I don't think the Cowboys defense has to worry about as many weapons. I think it might not be easier for them, but it's going to be maybe a little bit easier for them.
Pete, what are you going with?
I like the Cowboys as well. If I'm wrong, I might have to start picking the Chargers a lot more because I was wrong last week about it. But
yeah, I picked the Chargers by myself last week and won. We're going to go ahead and do it again. I'm taking the Chargers. I mentioned the right tackles being out. It's tough for both teams, but I think the difference is Joey Bosa. That's the difference. He got an insane amount of pressure last week. Always my problem with Joey Bosa, though. He's got enough pressure to get like Chandler Jones amount of sacks, 5 sacks in a game, and he doesn't do it. I think, he'll get in there. He'll get in there and cause enough of a ruckus. I think it's still going to be a shootout. I think just who's going to make that extra play on defense. I think it'll be the Chargers at home here. Herbert's looking good. I think the key will be because Herbert, he will throw that 50-50 ball once in a while. Cowboys got to take advantage of that. I'm just looking at two great offenses going to put up points. Which defense is more prepared to make that extra big play? I'm trusting the Chargers a little bit at home. The fans, actually, this was a squeaker for the fans all day. Or since I posted it last night, the Cowboys were leading the way majority of the time at a last-second switch where they went with the Chargers, and they pulled away there. So it's the fan squeaker, if there is a fan squeaker there. So that should be a great game there. Tough starting schedule for the boys. Well, I guess Chargers too. They play Washington and they play the boys. Next up, we got. The Titans and the Seahawks.
What happened,
Pete?
I have no idea.
The Titans got their ass beat to the Cardinals. Looked real sloppy. The Seahawks beat up the Colts. They just beat an AFC South team last week. Now they play another one here.
Yeah, I'll play another NFC West team.
This might be the toughest game to pick.
I did not watch this game last week, so disclaimer.
The Titans?
Yeah, I just saw the score.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
It's
very concerning. Like one thing I saw, someone put the play action percent rate. Titans were dead last in play action usage. Like that's what their offense.
The Seahawks ran a ton of play action.
I'm just saying that's what the Titans' offense is built off of, and they ran 5% of their plays in play action. So like that's what I was worried about is like losing Arthur Smith and having a different offensive coordinator. Like that's just I don't know how you don't play to your strengths. Not getting A.J. Brown and Julio Jones involved like right away is very concerning. Offensive line is very concerning. Cannot open up holes. Cannot pass block.
Sounds like we should go with the
looked like the same old defense, but I'm gonna go with the Titans.
Nice move, Pete.
I saw something today that the last 2 years after coming off a double. That's not a good thing. They come off double-digit losses this much, but in the last 2 years they're 7-0. Coming off of double-digit losses.
Titans got that going for him. But you know what Big Pete Carroll has going for him? He's never lost a home opener.
Uh-oh.
Never.
Uh-oh.
Undefeated, never lost.
Uh-oh.
Sign me up.
Sign him up. Dan's going with the Seahawks. Yeah, I've been back and forth on this one. That Pete Carroll thing really throwing me off here. If it was in Tennessee, easy going to the Titans.
They suck at home.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, it just kind of takes away the Pete Carroll factor. God, I'm so back and forth on this one. The Titans were just super sloppy, unprepared last week. They very well could be this week as well. But if they get out of that, if they're more prepared, then they can be a good team like they could be expecting to be. I still don't know who I'm picking for this game. I was originally going Seahawks, and I was changing my mind to the Titans. The Titans actually got pressure on Kyler Murray last week.
Yeah, they actually had
more pressure than the Cardinals did.
They had more pressure than the Cardinals did, but we just could not get Kyler Murray, which scares me because Russell Wilson's also hard to
yeah, but Russell Wilson will step into a lot of sacks.
Yes.
Another thing, the Titans' weapons were not a factor last week. They couldn't take advantage of the Cardinals' kind of weaker secondary. I'm leaning towards Titans right now because I think they get pressure again. They'll actually get Russell Wilson. I still think the Seahawks will score a lot of points. I think they get Derrick Henry going. I think they use their weapons. I think they use Julio Jones, A.J. Brown against the weaker Seattle Seahawks secondary. They don't have Chandler Jones or J.J. Watt out there this week, the Seattle Seahawks. They don't have that. Seattle Seahawks do a good job stopping a run, so that could be the difference. You stop Derrick Henry, it seems to be you win the game.
I just hope we get back to play action and play off of
I think this is another this is tough because Pete Carroll doesn't lose home openers. He just doesn't lose them.
Feed the king.
It's got to happen at some point. Yeah. I think this is one of those ones. I keep saying like week one always have those. You pick games. Okay, Seahawks beat the Colts. Titans got their ass beat the Cardinals. Seahawks are going to win. And I think there's always those games where it's like, well, that didn't make any sense. I think this is the game. It doesn't make any sense. It's bold.
We got Yeller with the Titans too.
Old Yeller's taking the Titans as well.
Uh-oh.
This is one I could change my mind about at any time. It's just kind of those reasons.
But the fans are going with the Seahawks.
Fans are going with the Seahawks. All right. I'm still on the fence about that. It's mainly the Pete Carroll thing. That's what it is for me.
There's no half points here. You can't just go change your unless you do it in the app. If you change your before the game, you gotta take.
You gotta change it now.
Hey.
Nope. I'll stick with the Titans, I guess.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Sunday Night Football, Chiefs-Ravens. The Ravens are pretty beat up in a disappointing loss. Blew a comeback. Chiefs came back and beat the Browns. This one's in Baltimore on Sunday night. It's always tough to play away on prime time.
Tough back-to-back games for the Baltimore. And for the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs seem to always beat the Ravens. Not why I'm picking them, but specifically they beat them because the Ravens' game is man coverage and blitz. That's exactly what you don't do against the Chiefs. That's how Mahomes will torch you. And now the Ravens are even worse at what they do. It's because Marcus Peters is out, and maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Not that he's out, but that they're almost forced to run different coverages, which could throw off the Chiefs. Maybe.
I'm really worried about the Ravens this year.
Yeah, the offensive line's bad, but the Chiefs don't have much of a pass rush at all.
I'm worried about the Ravens. I don't know. I didn't like what I saw.
I think a shootout. Both teams score a lot of points.
I'm thinking the Chiefs score a lot of points, but I don't think the Ravens will.
The Chiefs' defense is pretty bad right now. It's I think Lamar will run all over them. I think can they throw all over them? I guess that's the question. But the Ravens' problem, why they couldn't throw, was because the Raiders of all teams were just rushing them like crazy, but the Chiefs had the worst pass rush rate of week one, just week one.
I think they're going to be fine. Their defense is solid. I'm scared. I'm nervous for the Ravens.
So you're taking the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I don't know. I was not impressed watching that game.
Surprise one right here. Ready?
Yeller.
Old Yeller is going with the home team. He's actually taking the Ravens.
Whoa. I don't know about that.
Pretty wild.
He might have to come over here and explain himself sometime.
Yeah.
He's feeling the home team on Sunday night. He's a huge home team Sunday night guy. Goat House fans, fan vote, going with the Chiefs. Yeah, we'll see. Ravens' injuries just really hurt them this year. But if they can pull this one off, they're in business. For sure in some business. And does that leave us with the Monday night football game? The Lions and the Packers. The Lions got their ass beat last week. The Lions
worst team in the NFC North versus the worst team in the NFC North.
I don't know about that, but the Lions looked pretty good down there. Even when they weren't scoring, they were still moving the ball. You just worry about the Lions' defense, but they moved the ball and they ended up putting points up on the board in the end. Maybe they got some motivation, some momentum, they're just getting going. They're biting some kneecaps off. I don't know. Rodgers played the worst game of his career. Does he go? Is he just bad now?
Listen, I am not taking anything from that last game on the Packers, and the Packers are fine. They'll be fine.
I think so too. Yeah, okay.
They'll be fine.
Right.
Lions? But it would be cool. It would be cool.
I like the Lions. I like their the running backs. I love that. I love DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams.
A little Swift slip screen is dangerous.
A little revenge game for Jamal Williams.
Wait.
Oh, you gonna switch your pick?
No.
All right, he's not switching. He thought about it.
Yeah, no.
It's that Pete Carroll factor, man.
You gonna go back? You going back?
I'm messing around. Pete, I'm messing around. Again, special thanks to our new sponsors at BetQL. Download the App Store, Google Play. Links all over the description section. Special offer for BetMGM. Check it out. Use code GOAT, 25% off. It's an awesome site and app. Go check it out. You won't regret it. Also wouldn't regret by liking the like button. I haven't done that in a while.
The like button.
I pulled it off again. I kind of stopped myself, but I had to finish it. And then subscribe, turn notifications on. We got the full coverage here. If you're looking for score predictions, picks against the spread, those are coming every Wednesday. We got power rankings as well, a lot more content. Follow the Twitter as well. All much appreciated. Appreciate the support. Thanks for watching.
Is there anyone listening to this right now?
All kinds of people. Goodbye.